Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Thrive Co-Living Communities podcast. Got a first today. We're on location at Quail Forest, and many of you are aware that we've started a version of Thrive Co-Living Communities in Quail Forest. This is in the St. Pete area of Tampa Bay. So doing an intro to artificial intelligence today and showing you some apps that are really cool, and they'll end up being creepy, maybe even in between. So enjoy, and here we go. So the first one I want to show you is character.ai. And character.ai, really, there we go, has scoured the web for information about famous people living and dead. And you can use this to chat with people, with those famous people. And it actually takes information from their writings, from their history, to answer these questions. And Abraham Lincoln up here can answer a question about the war in the Middle East that's going on right now. So, who has a famous person that they would love to have a chat with?
Albert Schweitzer.
Albert Schweitzer. Will you help me spell it? Hold on. Let me, okay, hold on. Let me find where I enter this. Is it here? Oh, no. I don't want to do that. SCH.
WEITCL.
It's making me log in again. Okay, so Nancy, see if we can move this. What question do you have?
How did he develop his regard for all living creatures, even bugs?
Let's see if I spelled it right. Some of you probably can't read it at this point, right? Okay. I grew up on a farm where my mother taught me the importance of respecting all that is alive and well, including animals. It was during my medical studies when I experienced a deeper understanding of suffering and the need to alleviate it. This insight was what motivated me to dedicate my life to healing and promoting humanity. Anybody else have one for him? Does it sound consistent?
Yeah, even mosquitoes, I mean, he didn't, he didn't allow them to be killed.
Anybody else have somebody? How about Lincoln? We'll try him. Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. Anybody have a question for Lincoln?
Well, history books, I remember when I was probably fourth grade, it said he walked a mile or 2 miles to return a penny to somebody. Wow, is that true?
Okay. And what was he returning?
Penny. So
It's a
later.
lot of money back then.
This thing is right in the way. Uh,
See, I'm gonna.
I misspelled it, but he did. I'll ask one. What do you think about the divisiveness in the US? See, I can't really see what I'm doing here today. Let's see if I got it close. I find the division between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party to be sad. We must work together for the betterment of the country.
But what about the question about the family?
Yeah, he did. He said he did walk a mile to return a penny. Anybody else? How about Jesus?
When is he coming back? Yeah.
Let's ask him if he is.
Oh, he is.
Are you coming back and when? Not till everyone stops their bullshit.
Oh, boy.
That's not the PG version of Jesus. uh, Anybody else? Did you turn water into wine? And will you bring us some? Yeah, wasn't like a party trick or anything like that, like so many people think. I did it to prove a point. What point? So this sort of reminds me of a Ouija board, you know, when or the 8 ball. A dude said he loved my teachings, but he didn't want to follow me because he liked drinking too much. So I turned his water into the finest wine ever, and the dude couldn't think of an excuse not to be my disciple after that. So they do have different versions of people, the same people. So this is definitely a
It was a wedding.
off color.
Yeah.
Okay, so this could be kind of fun. It is character.ai and it's free. So the main one that I use and probably that everybody hears the most about is OpenAI's ChatGPT. And it is truly, truly amazing. And I do a lot of things on it. So let's see. Is there a type of poetry that anyone is drawn to? Haiku type of poetry, any type of poetry.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay. A poem in the style of Edgar. This is really bothering me. Let's see if I can hide this. Hide floating meeting controls. Beautiful. be thinking about what this poem is going to be about.
Lenore,
What?
Lenore.
Lenore?
Hey, remember the point, this point about,
Well, let's have him create something totally different.
about romance?
Between, let's get bizarre, a pelican and a, what's another bird from this area?
Woodstock.
Woodstock,
Yeah, STOI.
a wood stork, okay. Okay. Beneath the moon's ethereal glow, where whispers of the night doth flow, in a marshland's mist, a tale unfolds of love between birds so rare, so bold. A pelican with a bill so grand did gaze upon the wetland sand. A pelican, where stood a stork so tall and fair, with plumage white and noble air. Together they dance upon the shore, their love a legend evermore. With each step a promise made in nature's ballroom unafraid. The pelican with wings so wide would shelter stork, his cherished bride, and in return she'd stand by him through stormy gale and whim. Does that sound like him? I'm not really familiar.
Actually, it does. It does have some characteristics.
Okay,
The question is,
go ahead.
was this done by a human being or by artificial intelligence?
This is created by artificial intelligence based on information fed to it about Edgar Allan Poe and his poems. Okay, explain AI from for a 7-year-old. Imagine AI or artificial intelligence. Yes. Imagine AI or artificial intelligence is like a robot in a computer that can think and learn almost like you do. You know how to learn to solve puzzles by trying again and again and getting better each time. AI works a bit like that. For example, if you play a video game and there's a computer character that gets smarter every time you play, that's AI. It learns from the game just like you learn from practicing. So translate the above into Portuguese. GUESE, babe. Can you see it? And I'm working on my Portuguese, but I'm not that good. Okay, so it's translating it into Portuguese.
But anyway, I think the answer was talking about video games, and your question was about an explanation for a 70-year-old person.
7.
7.
So it was explaining in a way that he or she could understand. Okay, so earlier I asked it, okay, I created a custom GPT for myself. I fed in critical points of my background, where I'm from, who my brothers and sisters are, my businesses, my partner, Thrive Quail Forest, and it helps me work out problems of the business. And I asked it to generate an introduction to who I am for you. Let's see if it retained it. Okay, so there it is. I did that earlier today. There it is. I copied and pasted it into an app called myvocal.ai. I read 20 statements. Sorry to have my back to you, but in order for this to work, we've got to. I read 20 statements that taught it my voice. Okay. And now I can copy and paste any text in there and it will read it in my voice. See how close you think it is. Mark is a multifaceted entrepreneur. I'll turn it up. In digital marketing, insurance outsourcing, office management, and community-driven initiatives like Thrive Quail Forest. His professional journey reflects a blend of innovation, leadership, and a strong commitment to fostering community and business growth. Mark's ventures, such as Outmarket Pro, demonstrate a keen focus on providing. So I can create videos for clients by doing a headshot introduction, a headshot ending, and they train this app. We paste the middle part of their video into this tool, and then we put what's called B-roll background, just illustrate what the points are, and we create that middle section so that once the client does one recording session for me, we can create infinite numbers of videos with that process. So it allows me to offer it at a really low cost. And I never would do it before because having to schedule with people to record a video is just impossible. So there's a free version, but the version that I use for my clients and for me costs only $10 a month. And we can create enough content to create as many videos as we need to. So that's myvocal.ai. Now,
This isn't supposed to sound creepy yet.
we're getting close.
Okay, because I'm feeling.
You're getting close.
No, yeah. I don't want to see the headshot beginning and end and you not needing the rest of it. You know,
I got it. No, I understand. Okay, so here is Emo. And Emo, some video tools just came out this past week. This one and a video tool creation tool from OpenAI. So let me show you this. This is a lip sync.
What do you do when your eyes can no longer be trusted? When you think you're looking at something real, but it clearly can't be real? What if everybody is empowered to create anything they want? Let me just pause for a second and show you something that will absolutely blow your mind. To the supersonic speed.
I'm gonna move through some of these. Okay, so let me stop for a moment. So what they did was they uploaded an image of a person and then they uploaded an audio file and then they run it through AI and this still image becomes a video of her either talking or singing. The song or the words that were from the audio. Look at the eyes and the head movement. Ooh, this one's really cool.
Portrait videos with audio to video diffusion model under very popular song. And then in the second example, from the same image, we have somebody talking.
You never knew you were someone waiting for me. We were just kids when we fell in love.
I cry all the time, and I think it's the most helpful
And take a look at this. You remember the woman from the Tokyo landscape, the Sora generated video, completely fake, not a real person. All of a sudden, we have this person speaking up here, which is the vocal source. We have the reference image, and then look how incredible the generated video is. Everything.
This
looks
woman up in the
like
upper
a
left
goofy person.
is one of the
Yeah,
founders of
And this is right
OpenAI.
now Such a point where we're sort of, redefining how we interact with digital information. And it's through, the form of these AI systems that we collaborate.
At which time would I be able to longing and liking, proud, fantastic, shallow.
Now, one last thing I want to talk about in this video. And it may seem unrelated at first, but in fact, stay with me.
Okay, that's it of that one.
Very important when you're
Watch this guy.
You can finally turn yourself into an AI avatar for free. In the process, it only takes 5 minutes. And all you need is your phone. Wow, that was not so bad. A little bit stiff, but that was my AI avatar that did the intro for this video. Pretty wild. So
Let me show you again.
you can finally turn yourself into an AI avatar for free. In the process, it only takes 5 minutes. And all you need is your phone. Wow, that was not so bad. A little bit stiff, but that was my AI avatar that
He recorded a 2-minute video and that it generated that AI. Here is the OpenAI tool that creates video with a text prompt. So you say, create a video about whatever in this style, and it created it. And it will create up to a 1-minute video. Look at the realism of this. Hi, we're doing a program about artificial intelligence, and you're welcome to sit in if you'd like. Oh,
I'm interrupting you.
no, it's okay. Here, if you'll come over on this, oh, is there a plug there?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, go
Are
ahead.
you sure it's okay?
Yeah. Okay, there's no sound on this one anyway. So look at the hair. Look at the flakes of snow.
Nobody using that. You need some more? Okay.
We got plenty. We got plenty.
It's really loud.
There's no sound on this one anyway. So these were all created with a text, a short text prompt.
I thought we moved it on the plate.
Oh. Oops, whoa. I do need another plate. This is.
Look at this.
Two things.
It's a stocking cap on top of his helmet. Two pirate ships battling in a coffee cup.
In a.
Coffee cup. Look at the foam. Look at the waves. Snowy Tokyo in the spring. Look at the faces. I don't like this robot one. That's kind of. The animators that did what's the famous animators, Dave?
Famous animated one?
yeah, that did Toy Story. They worked years
Pixar?
to create
Pixar?
Pixar. They worked years to create hair that looked lifelike.
Really?
And this, you saw that creature. A coral reef made out of paper.
Made out of.
Paper.
Wouldn't you feel better if you created it yourself, though? You know, I don't know. I mean, the idea of spending years trying to create hair that looks real, okay, that's quite an expenditure of time, but I can't get over this seeming so fake. And I wanted to help in terms of medicine, things like that, but I don't want it to diminish human beings.
And that's one point of view, but also it can extend the abilities of people to be able to do more and better. But are they creating it pixel by pixel? No, they're not. So this is the beginning, as I see it, this is the beginning of a new way, much faster and cheaper way to create full-length movies, films to create using AI. Right now, this is limited to 1 minute. Each of these videos are only 1 minute. Look at this. California during the gold rush. Think about what it would take to create that set. Even a fake set.
I still haven't got over a Forrest Gump. I didn't like the film because it wasn't those segments. of
And
Mall
cutting
weren't
Captain
real.
Dan's legs off.
Yeah, I couldn't, yeah, that, you know, so I don't like Forrest Gump all that. much. You know,
And that's, no, that's bullshit.
No, it's not counts.
Well, just to drop the other one and make one page.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I can deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this guy is really realistic. Look at his beard hair. Animated movies are just going to be so easy to create. Okay. I've just got a couple things more to show you, and we're really going to get out there. This is a monkey who had a Neuralink installed in his head. Neuralink is a computer brain interface.
This is Paige.
Let me just finish. And they drill a robot drills a hole in the skull the size of a quarter. And they implant tiny electrodes into the brain. And they're starting with people, they're going to start with people that have paralysis. And this monkey has a Neuralink installed, and he's going to play Pong
Who had a Neuralink.
with it, starting with a joystick here. His motivation is a smoothie. As long as he does his smoothies, drinks his smoothies, he wants to keep playing. So he identifies this dot to start out with
Some might
the
be
joystick.
but in neural activity, this pager uses the joystick to move a cursor to targets presented on the screen. As he's playing this game, we are wireless
So then he starts playing
after
Pong.
a few minutes of configuration. We can use he's controlling the cursor entirely with decoded neural brain activity alone. Because they wouldn't be able to move the joystick, they would calibrate the decoder.
Okay. So he's
To
playing
control this
Pong.
panel on the right side of the screen, pager simply thinks about moving his hand up or down. We've removed the joystick altogether.
So there's no
Now that he's up to
joystick.
speed, let's increase the difficulty and see how well pager can play with the neuron.
He's just thinking about where he wants to put the paddle.
As you can see, pager is amazingly good at mind pong. He's focused, and he's playing entirely at his own volition. It's not magic. The reason Neuralink works is because it's recording and decoding electrical signals from the brain.
So Neuralink applied to install it in the first human, and they got permission at the end of January of this year. They didn't report it until it was successfully done. They haven't told anything about the person except that they recovered and they were starting to train the unit. So it will allow a person with no ability
restore
to,
some level of autonomy to people who have the least. The initial application that Neuralink has demonstrated is telepathic typing and cursor control. Just by thinking about the movement of the cursor on a computer screen, the Neuralink will enable a user to write messages, open applications, browse the web, and even play video games. This is all stuff that has already been demonstrated in the company's monkey experiments for years now. So this is what we can assume the first human
there's
Neuralink
no
users are
connection.
doing
This is that
right
was a
now.
previous
And as Elon pointed
version
out, if you
somebody
can use
else.
a smartphone,
There's
you can
no-
operate
it's
any
all
smart device that
Bluetooth.
is linked to that phone. So even without having to move or speak, a patient could change their thermostat, dim the lights, open the blinds, activate the Roomba, lock their doors. All of these Internet of Things enabled devices are now accessible through Neuralink telepathy. But that's not all that Elon Musk has in mind for Neuralink's first human trials. Elon also teased that Neuralink is working on a second application that will join telepathy. This one is called Blind Sight. Elon has been surprisingly optimistic in recent months that even an early version of Neuralink could restore eyesight to the blind. The idea here is that the N1 implant could be used to beam digital vision from a camera directly into the brain. This one is a little further out, but in theory, it is possible. So with telepathy, the Neuralink device is being used exclusively as a transmitter. The implanted wires are picking up neural activation signals from inside the cerebral cortex, and then those signals are converted into computer language by the N1 chip and broadcast via Bluetooth into a nearby computer or device. If this is possible, then it would stand to reason that you could flip the process and transmit digital information from a device through Bluetooth into the N1 implant, which would then convert the digital signal into neuron activations. To accomplish this, the implant would send electrical pulses through the tiny wires into the brain tissue to stimulate the neuron response. If those wires were implanted directly into the visual cortex region of the brain, the specific patterns of
Let's see if there's anything else. This is not even how it looks. There's probably a scar, but they put they put skin back on over the Neuralink. So they're working with the upper cortex of the brain now, but they believe that they can bury these electrodes deeper and deal with any malady that has to do with the brain. Even getting people to be able to walk again if they have spinal cord damage by circumventing the spinal cord and sending the information directly to the limbs. And so blindness, hearing loss that's related to brain functioning, paralysis, that's how they're starting. Now, this is the last thing, and this is probably the creepiest of all of it, and that is that his ultimate goal is his fear of AI taking over. And his belief is the only way we can beat AI is to join it. So starting out with people that have clear maladies, but ending up with people who would like to have more brain function, more intelligence, because AI is going to keep exponentially getting more intelligent. So the way that he believes, the only way he believes that we can beat AI is to have a computer and join human intelligence with artificial intelligence. And that leads to all sorts of consequences. You could download your brain into a robot. You could download your brain into a hard drive and live longer in that way. So, and he doesn't even talk about it. That's the most controversial part of this whole thing.
And that's Elon.
What? That's Elon Musk's company, Neuralink.
You've probably heard about him in the news the past week.
Yeah, the lawsuit.
Musk and a guy named Sam Altman started Neuralink and the AI.
OpenAI, not
OpenAI.
Neuralink.
And Musk and Altman had a falling out in 2018 or 19. But Musk continued to own a lot of the stock. And so recently, though, Altman, Musk's idea was to use this for good. And all the implications there. Musk's idea was to, really enhance society and really help. Altman wants to make money. And so Musk has recently brought a lawsuit against Altman because he sees Altman's idea of AI going in the wrong direction. It'll be real interesting to see how that turns out.
What's hard for me to, I saw that, but it's kind of scary, but what I was getting from Musk is he almost said like it's sentient. It has its own mind. And use its own initiative, accomplish whatever is in the mind of the machine.
And that's where it's heading. And pretty quickly, that's called AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. And my guess is, when Musk and Altman created OpenAI, it was open source and it was a not-for-profit. And when they had their falling out, Altman turned it into a for-profit. But a theory that I heard about this lawsuit is that he's just looking for discovery because it's suspected that OpenAI has already reached AGI. And this would bring that out in the open, and that they're sandbagging it because they're trying to just let it out a little bit at a time. But that they've already created super intelligence is that theory. So it's but it'll take years to get discovery. It'll already happen. It's good.
Well, I haven't done any, I don't feel, certainly don't feel more comfortable about AI. I just, it seems like the antithesis of authenticity. And even if the first few powerful people that are leaders in it don't screw it up, and I'm not, I don't feel that comfortable about Elon Musk's vision of helping humanity. I'm not convinced that he feels that way. But very soon, it'll pass into wrong hands. So I don't just like to buy the benefits without the rest of it, and that's impossible to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think what you're kind of saying is you have to trust mankind
Yeah,
to go in the right direction, and
Yeah.
you can't,
and
that's
you
not gonna
can't-
happen.
You can't trust mankind.
No.
Trust the animals, but you can't trust
What is the
mankind.
government doing about it?
The government's trying to catch up
Yeah,
and understand what's going on. And they are always way behind
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
So they'll never, and then let's say we create them, and we have created some initial regulations. And Europe has created some initial regulations, stronger than ours, but they'll
For
just go
example?
somebody else. Just go
Yeah.
somewhere else to do it, wherever
Around the
regulation.
world, right?
Regulations are becoming a joke.
yeah, yeah.
So you've got to have, and the leaders, to their credit, are calling for regulation, although the cynics say it's only to limit competition.
Of course.
But the leaders are saying we need the equivalent of a International Atomic Energy Commission to regulate on a worldwide basis, not just country by country.
With our
because-
enemies.
I think that's an absolute impossibility. Because ultimately, you're dealing with people, and you gotta be able to trust those people.
They talk about alignment, getting AI to align with human values. But we can't even reach alignment on these values.
Bioethics says, that never get. That's a high enough field of its own, and it doesn't. The morality and the ethics never come soon enough. And I just can't. Of course, everybody would like to, help people that can't walk or people that can't see, but it's just to.
Filling your brain and,
Yeah.
that's extreme, I think. When that happens to me, at my age, I'm ready.
Yeah, well,
I don't want all of, I don't want to live.
Yeah.
That much longer being.
And it doesn't take too much to imagine, okay, either attend this event on this day, or we're going to erase your brain.
Yeah, right.
Or give us
Yeah,
$1 million, or
right.
that download you just did, that last download with no backup. It's gone.
And people can, they can show a picture of you and maybe, sleeping and. Where is it going? Who's going? That's the scary. I can see, putting something in Spanish and getting it, translated, things like that. I know the kids that, I work part-time as an engineer.
Can you guys hear?
I work part-time for a company that the engineers are all in their 20s, 30s, smart as heck, and they use it all the time for certain things. I don't, and then this Friday, I was at my computer and then something private Is it AI?
Copilot,
Copilot, okay.
helps them write code. It
Well,
writes
it
code
just
for
said,
them.
well, Louisa House is real estate, what's going on with my history? And it's like, whoa, and where it's working, I said, I didn't touch a thing. It just- That scares me, because I didn't. I don't know.
So we've got no way out of it.
I don't think there is, there's no way.
It's out there, it's growing.
Hmm.
There are lots of people jumping on it, throwing a lot of money at it. No, I don't think you can stop it.
Hmm.
Even if the whole world agreed,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think you can stop it.
So Louise, that kind of brings us back to the real question. Is the rapture gonna come sooner or later? In a way, this is already taking place real quickly in another form. I'm a retired banker and CBDCs, central bank digital currency. They're gonna hit us any day now. And that's advantage. I mean, they're not making any, not making any bones about it. It's take no prisoners. It'll be interesting.
We're headed toward the mark.
You think? Every indication.
Another line of thinking is that technology is neutral. And it's good guys are going to do good things and bad guys are going to do bad things. But this one, this one is so capable. It is different.
But it still comes back to the question of ethics and morality.
Hmm.
And when you see something on the screen, is it real or is it Memorex?
Hmm.
And you know this guy's name, Alan Turing. Alan Turing was one of the pioneers of what we're talking about here and all this computerized technology. And he came up with a test. It's called the Turing test.
Turin.
Turing, Alan Turing.
That, you mean from the 50s?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was 30s, 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
And they were talking about all this and whether or not a computer could actually simulate a human
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
And Turing came up with this test, or at least he tried to convince people, and it's still around because it's hard to come up with answers. Now, I'll try to give an example. Okay, you're sitting right there. And on the other side of that screen, okay, we're on the other side of a petition is a human and a computer. And so you ask it a question, just like the one you asked us. You asked the question, would you please write a 5-line limerick? And so the human being writes a 5-line limerick, and so does the computer, but you don't know which one it is. How do you know the difference? How are you going to tell the difference? And ask them another question. And the answers look very apparent, like only a computer could add 2 6-digit numbers together in speed just like that. But how do you know the computer is not trying to fool you to make you think something else? And these are questions that not even the technocrats have come up with solid answers, and it's something that they debate all the time. And as long
It's
as
been
there's
argued that it's AI has already passed the Turing test.
well, maybe it has, maybe it hadn't. Who knows?
There's something in there about autonomy. I've not really studied exactly what the Turing test is, but it can. Best part of it is that it can do things on its own initiative.
Will this computerized human also have emotions?
You know, that's one thing that really, that I didn't demonstrate in, Chat GPT. It seems to show compassion. And I've asked it some questions, and if you want, I think we've done enough, but, it'll address, you know, I lost my dog. He just died. How do I deal with this? And it will give a compassionate answer. So there are some possibilities there for people who have a phone but don't have enough money for a therapist. And they can get some compassion. That's not the same thing as human compassion, but
And will all this sophisticated programming be done by one individual or a consortium of individuals? And if more than one, will they all be on the same page ethically and morally?
it's gobbling up information on its own. It's absorbing the internet
Oh, good.
in an exponential way. So it won't be just one person. And Elon's self-driving cars were programmed before to say, okay, you see a stop sign and you stop. And they took all that out, and they're now working with neural networks just like this, so that they show it videos of somebody driving, and now it is working, and there's not a line of code in the self-driving program anymore. It's all trained on video, trained by video, and you can watch demos of it. It seems to drive much more like a human than it has in the past. So it's picking up human traits, driving traits.
Which is probably one of the worst things. to
Right.
do.
Although it's already like 100 times safer than a human driver already, and it's still in beta. Well, any other comments, concerns, questions?
It's open the neural lens.
ChatGPT is part of OpenAI.
Now, what was that last?
ChatGPT
GPT?
is part of OpenAI, and you would get there with chat.openai.com. Neuralink, just Google it. There are lots of demos like the, we didn't even talk about Tesla's robot and other robots that are now being created.
I saw your truck on the road.
A Cybertruck?
Yeah,
Wow.
truck on 19. It looked like, oh gosh. Space, you know.
You mean,
He's,
yeah,
The
you
Cybertruck.
bought it?
I've ordered it.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
There are just a few of them out.
yeah.
I saw one on the road.
On 19. It's
Wow,
like
wow.
a cyber truck. They look like from space.
But look up the Tesla bot. They recently, they're making very fast gains with it. It recently pulled a t-shirt out of a box, folded it, and stacked it off to the side. So they're going to be in factories to start out. They'll be in our homes after that to help out with light cleaning, caretaking. And there will be more robots than there will be electric vehicles. Because think of all the applications for a physical robot.
I'm just glad I am the age that I am.
I know, I often thought that. Did you ever see a movie? It was a Robin Williams movie called Millennial Man. Wasn't that what it was? It was the most wonderful movie, but it was like an early version of this, where he's not human, and but he looks human. It's a wonderful movie.
Yeah, it's the name, isn't it?
Huh?
The name of the movie?
Yeah,
Millennial Man.
yeah, I'm not sure if it's Millennial or the Bicentennial Man, I think.
Ah, yeah. let me
Yeah,
check.
Bicentennial Man, and it's Robin Williams, and it's just heartwarming, and so when
I
Christmas.
miss him.
Yeah, I know, and when our son was 10, we took him and his friends to see it.
Yeah, Bicentennial Man.
Bicentennial Man, it's worth it, but it's like this back then as
Yeah.
imagined,
Yeah.
and um, so, yeah, it's, I did like it. Well, yeah, well,
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming.
yeah.
This-
Thank you.
Thanks for
This
putting it
feels
together,
like,
Mark.
I'm sorry,
Thanks for putting it together for us.
Right.
Yeah.
this is something that I've been envisioning for 5 years probably. And to be able to talk about an idea and discuss it and learn from each other, this just feels awesome to me. And I want to do this sort of thing, skill share, share things that you're passionate about, that you're interested in, that you have expertise in, maybe from earlier work life. Nancy did a program on pet care, as a vet. And I also want to do fun things here on site as well as off site. We did bowling night a couple weeks ago.
I showed up.
Yeah. And but the group is growing each time. So and 2 weeks from now, from today, we're going to have a cornhole tournament here at the pool. So
Out of the parking lot or?
I don't know, maybe in here, maybe in the parking lot, in this part of the parking lot.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see. But you'll get an announcement you may have already gotten an announcement today.
Got
It was supposed to come out tomorrow. But hit me with ideas. I think all of you have my cell phone or email. And, help come up with fun ideas, with informative ideas that we can do here. We can have it at other places. I love the Imagine Museum, and I'd love to have a field trip to the Imagine Museum, and go as a group and carpool together, since a lot of us don't like to drive at night, or I don't like to drive at all. But I'll have my Tesla self-driving car within probably this year. So we'll all hop in the back of the pickup and it'll drive us.
Just pray that it'll get through the gate. right?
Yeah, never mind getting to St. Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, please hit me with ideas, organize an idea, and I'll help facilitate it here. I think here is going to be the best place for a while, until we get too big.
Well,
And then
thank
we
you
can-
for putting this together.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
What about that wine tasting?
Yep, we want to do a wine tasting.
Yeah.
I'm looking into liability insurance for this group, and to cover the board. So I think we probably ought to wait until we have
Okay,
that,
it's okay.
because even if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and people are getting out, we might have an extra glass of wine or 2 or 3, and trip on the sidewalk. So I recently got hit, driving Isabella's car. It was their fault, but they still totaled the car, and we had to get another one within a few days. So I'm a little paranoid about liability right now, so.
Who knows, Isabella's.
She talked me into it so that she could take Duncan, who will not get in her car. So, but she got an upgrade, newer, better, less miles, younger.
We don't know yet if it's the engine is better.
Yeah.
The outside and the finishing, everything looks better. Good. Yeah.
So I got a little bit paranoid
Yeah,
about them.
yeah, you weren't going far and it wasn't, yeah, it seemed like a
Yeah, it
safe
was-
enough route. you know.
I was right behind Nancy going to a restaurant after the board meeting, the HOA meeting.
Didn't get there. Yeah. Yeah, you never know, that's utter surprise of it all, yeah. Gosh.
So what would you recommend? I mean, this, I am totally,
Say it again.
what would you recommend for somebody who really doesn't have any information? Where do I go?
About this,
Artificial intelligence. Where's a good place to start?
YouTube,
YouTube?
and just start looking at a couple of things that you saw here.
Mhm.
And then YouTube will start feeding you more of the same on a daily basis.
I don't know. Do that,
And
have you done that? You,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the guys in the office.
I've got your email address, so if you'd like, I'll send you things that I watch.
Basics.
oh, baby, babies.
I just want to know about it. I don't know.
Right. But knowing about it, I think is very important.
Yes, it is.
And I appreciate what you've done.
Yes, we really appreciate that.
Good, thank you. All right,
All right, thanks.
have a great rest of the afternoon.
And to say, I'm talking to you.
Thanks again, Mark. Do you need help with any, breaking down anything?
I'm not sure,
Tables and chairs,
Um,
how about we rearrange those?
you know, you might be able to help me just take some of these things, like this, and this, everything that's have to put back together. Take the water and put it in my car. It'd be great.
Rubbish bag?
No, but there's a garbage can right there.
Oh, my goodness.
Which one?
Here's the.
Radios?
The Prius. Right.
With the line in it. So what do you do?
And
I guess I'm the office mom. I'm 76. My sister
uh,
was.
I've been here like 4 years.
So I just do whatever. We do, I can't, a lot of,
Yeah, that was.
we do sitting.
There's a lot of concrete.
Not much, we do a lot of. The systems that. You know, with giving them kinds of, and so I'll, you know, I call something for big, and I just do a little bit of everything. I run errands.
All right, did it lock again?
It's good, it's all good.
That's fun.
Which one?
Yes.
Is this?
What
Yeah.
did you do?
You wanted a bowl. Beautiful. Thanks.
Here?
Okay.
Now, are you guys finding about
Well, I moved here in 1965, so I could say that, I guess, but I was born in Texas.
Right.
My dad was in the
Massachusetts.
Okay, where?
London stuff. Pittsburgh, it's about 4 miles. Close to Boston. I've been there. The whole family.
Oh, okay.
It's like 8 years old. St. Pete and I've lived.
Babe, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the car. This is the one I'm most worried about. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the car.
Okay.
And I'm all-
Let's not go
From 70 to 73.
Yeah, I lived in, as a young teenager, I lived in England for 3 years. Stayed for a year.
Those are just learning and wonderful experiences. My oldest daughter.
I know.
Just in case.
Yeah.
And I will tell you.
Especially with the liner. That's good.
And they are so far back then in 1973, they were so far ahead of us. To having used it's unbelievable.
How are the chairs?
So do you go to?
all of this was-
No,
Yes,
no,
they
she
have
comes
to
here,
prepare.
a couple of times a year. Spend some time. I don't like the night out.
Be careful with the.
I am.
I didn't want to leave my bottle, but I guess it's already. Mix of water.
Water appointments.
I know, as long as, yeah, as long as it gets clean, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Is there something I can help with?
No, that's all good. Thank you. I don't know how it's set up. I've never been there. I've been in readers.
I think there,
Are these restrooms? And then-
Yes, it's right here behind.
go around to the.
Yeah, I don't need to go, but.
This is great. I've been here for 15. 15
Years. Is that, a lot of places like, almost 40 years.
Oh,
old.
no, I moved here from Connecticut.
I did too.
I had an aunt and uncle in Cheshire. Yes,
And I lived in Chester.
Chester,
It's right on the Connecticut River. And it was just a nice place. Small, 3,600 people.
Very small, wow. Oh, you've got a good place.
And we have an opera house in Chatham. And one summer, Julie Landry, it was our first Broadway play, was the Boyfriends, and they put it on at this opera house in Chatham, Connecticut.